Like, how the fuck does that even work? So you're like a billionaire and you have to spend money so you won't get taxed more. So that means us that are kind of broke, we have to spend money and document it as they are so we won't get taxed as much. You see what the fuck I'm talking about? It's all education. So no matter what level you're at, you're implementing these concepts. You're applying this knowledge at whatever bracket of income you're at. Whether you're fucking poor, barely making it, but you're learning the concepts. Because if one day you become a billionaire, guess what? You'll still be able to apply these concepts and they'll still apply because you're still thinking about positive and negatives, right? You're still thinking about that. You're still considering the cost. Why the fuck am I going to buy a house that costs $1 million when I could buy the same fucking house for 100,000? Why are you going to go buy fucking a candy bar that's valued at 1,000 when you can just buy it at the fucking store or buy in bulk and only fucking spend like 100 or less? You have to think about all that. You know, what I'm basically like insinuating is the simple fact that we have to apply these concepts because it applies to us. Everything that we fucking do dictates the knowledge, the concepts. So it's not a stupid thing to think like people that have a lot of money, because some people that have a lot of money were never wealthy. Some people were poor and then somehow they fucking, they were able to make all that money. So you just never know if you one day will be that person who makes a lot of money. So instead of judging them, you have to start learning and just understanding. Don't criticize, don't judge. Just fucking try to learn. Peep game. Just shut the fuck up and listen, bitch. Yeah. As I fucking speak in right now in this video, you know, temporarily. Because I'm not talking all the time. Only through my videos. Like in person, I don't even talk. I'm just like quiet. I'm just thinking about food, pussy, and a lot of pussy. I'm like fucking you mentally. I just don't say shit. Even if you're married and shit, I'm like, oh my god. I wonder how this guy's fucking her. I wonder how I could fuck her. Enjoying my drink. Thanks, guys, for the drink. You know? That's why everyone's looking at me like, what the fuck? What's wrong with Francisco? Why didn't he say shit? Who fucking knows? He's a weird character, isn't he? I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder what goes through his mind. Oh well. Mm, so, like, how would all this work? And what would be more affordable? What would be, good ways for us to implement? Good things for us to implement. It's like, think about, like, I have this container here, right? Think about this fluid in here. This fluid in here is at room temperature. But imagine if it was at 100 plus Celsius or Fahrenheit. I don't know the differences, but imagine if it was like super, super hot where it's boiling and it's very, very hot, and this was made out of glass instead of plastic. What would happen if I just touched it? If I touched it, that heat in here, in the glass and in the oil, it will get conducted. It will transfer to my finger almost instantly. And my sensors in my finger will send a jolt of electricity up my fingers, my arm, all the way up my neck to my brain. Right? And that's what happens. It's a sensor. It's just like a vehicle. If another vehicle hits a vehicle like on in the back and it crushes the back of it, the airbag has a sensor, or there's a sensor there, that if that happens, for the airbag to come out. And that's how airbags work. So there's a sensor, right? It's conducting heat. So it's like, oh shit, and immediately we move our finger. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. And we have to think about these concepts for us to be able to think about good ideas. And so we can like implement them, so we can apply them in the real world. And I don't know, it's free energy, but I don't know if it'll be worth like for us to pump the water out during the day. But remember, it will be all manually. So like when I say we, it's more like a system, a machine doing it. So the machine will push the water out. It'll pump it out. It'll just stay out there. And then if the house temperature starts getting cold, then you can have a temperature regulator. So you don't want the house to be so hot or so cold, so it will work for you. And then if they can't provide that, then obviously that's when you would turn on your AC or your heater. But honestly, like, we have to think about stuff like that. But even like the AC, people turn on the AC, especially like in the summer in their vehicles. And then, so they have the AC on full blast, right? Excuse me. And as soon as they walk out, they can walk out for like, 20 minutes to buy some food real quick. Or not even that. They step out for like 2 minutes, they come back in the car and it's fucking hot. And right away you have to turn on the AC all over again. So I thought about stuff like this already and I recorded it. I probably even drew out some examples or whatever. But I was thinking more like heating up like a stone or metal or something that will retain that desired temperature for it to like evenly, you know, I was going to say illuminate, but it's not a light. But like transferring evenly or whatever that energy where you want it most. It's kind of like a vehicle with heated seats. You know, it's it's metal wires that get heated up, similar to a toaster or similar to a hair blower. The metal things get super hot and then eventually they cool down, right? But it takes time for that heat to cool down. So when we have the heater, it's finding objects inside the house which can or which will conduct the heat. So instantly it will probably go towards the coldest places inside of the inside the home, which will probably be metals, any type of metal, like this metal. Like right now I'm touching it and it's cool. It's cool to the touch. See what I'm saying? So before it heats anything else up, it's going to heat up this. So um you know, if you're trying to save money, try not to have stuff like that inside the house. The less you have, the better. Like, it's even proven if you want your house to be warmer, don't install tile, right? Or if you don't want your house to be cooler, don't install tile. Because think about it, if you have carpet, it's going to stay cooler. But if you have tile, if it's cold outside, that tile is going to get super, super cold, right? More so than the carpet. So we have to think about all that. And and stuff like that. But obviously this is only for people who are trying to save money, like big time. And not a bunch of fucking show offs who say, well, everyone has tile, even though everyone has to pay a lot of money to keep the house warm. But that's what they want. That's what everyone sees. So that's how everyone wants their home. But what we need is smart people to set up like the right amount of elements inside of a home to save the most amount of money or whatever. So we have to come up with smart ideas And then once we figure those out, we share that for people who are really and truly serious about stuff like this. Because some people don't give a fuck. And then they wonder why they don't have any money. They wonder why, and they're not afraid to fucking fuck people over. They don't give a fuck if someone else is out there cold because they're nice and warm inside their house. All because they want to have a certain type of element inside of their home, which is considered luxury, right? So now we're operating in with money. So it requires money to pay for that fucking heat bill, right? So therefore, some people don't really have the money, so they will do some scandalous ass shit just to get money. And that's what I love about the internet, honestly, because it's regulating on a lot of people. It's doing more good than bad. It really is. Even if we can't see it, even if it seems like everything is going out of whack or whatever the fuck, it really isn't. It's really good. And maybe you're someone that has been impacted in a negative way, but honestly, the internet is good for everyone. Like, there's a lot of people who are stressed the fuck out, and with their cell phones and all that, they're happy. But without that shit, they're stressed the fuck out. Imagine what they would be doing if they didn't have that shit. They would just be at home and fucking stress fucking ball fucking vegetable fucking maggot. A fucking miserable fucking person, right? Just not knowing what the fuck to do. No education, no striving, no eagerness, no desire to grow, just there. And then there's no prompting. There's no prompting. There's no like incentive. Like, hey man, learn some shit, you get paid more. Like, we have to think about positive ideas for these people who are out there not doing shit. And it doesn't matter if they're at home all fucking day. Right? There's ways they can educate themselves. People who go to education are getting paid. People who go to colleges get fucking paid. They don't even have to work. Right? People who are playing video games all day long, they're fucking getting paid. Because they're going through some form of test, a study, and the people, they need volunteers. So there's probably people out there who are making their little brothers and sisters play video games all day just so they could get paid. So that's what I love about the internet as well, because people can't get scandalous like that. See what the fuck I'm talking about? It's like, yeah, do this work for me. I'm getting paid fucking $50 an hour, but I'm only paying you fucking $15 an hour. And no one fucking knows. No one fucking knows, it's just what it really is some people just want to get scandalous and get over on people. Right? But with the internet, we're cutting that middleman out the way. Like, wait, bitch, you got the game fucked up. Like, there's just as much money for everyone in this world than there is for you. You're just a greedy fuck trying to fucking make someone work so you can make a fucking profit. Anyways, there's so much shit to consider, right? So many concepts, so many ideas, so many inventions. Like, who's going to do them all? Who thought of them all? What are we doing about all these ideas? How are we helping people? You know, we have to just take one day at a time, people. One day at a time, because there's just too much to get involved in. And the last thing you guys out there want to do is get in any form of trouble. Just, if there's injustice, that's why the law's there. If you feel like someone's taking advantage of someone, that's why the law's there. That's why you could speak up for people, but because there's a lot of people out there who are doing that with money. They're basically using people to make profit, So they're basically using them and abusing them. And the people that know, they're just like, fuck, if these people are fucking retarded. But in reality, they're not retarded. They just need money. But no one else wants to offer them more money. So they're forced to fucking be retarded because you think they're retarded. But in reality, they're not fucking retarded. That's just what you motherfuckers concluded. And that's why we all have equal rights. Oh shit, I gotta go. Getting a fucking phone call. Suck it easy, bitches.